Hello, everybody, and welcome. So on this channel, I share things like wholesome life hacks, personal development, inner work, a bit of money and careers advice, and conversations on our connected world and global development. So if you are new here, please go and subscribe to the channel. That's always very helpful. And if there's something you'd like a video made about, then please leave a comment below, and we'll try and get to it. Okay, so something that I'm going to say, so the first thing that I wanted to bring up in this video is saying no to things. And this is a tricky one because everyone has to find that balance for themselves about what they should say and what they should say yes to and what they should say no to. But in my case, saying no to things has been extremely helpful. So I spent a lot of my 20s doing lots of different things, going places, saying yes to every social plan, saying yes to everything extra at work, to saying yes to doing things. I would often like make things from scratch. I would just really take on a lot more responsibility than I needed to. And what happened is I burned out, but B, I also just found that I wasn't really present for the things that I wanted to be present for. I used to talk to my parents, and when I was talking to them, I'd actually always be like scrolling on my phone or checking something. And I realized that like it's not fair to them, it's not fair to me, but I was like just doing too much and then kind of in a bad mood and falling to pieces because I had taken on more than I could handle. So lately, in the last few months, years, I've just been saying no to things. Like making sure that I have enough space between events, making sure that I like really give myself enough time to sleep and rest and eat so that I'm still functional and that the things that I am doing, I'm able to give 100% to. So that's something that really helped me in my life. Um, the next thing is actually cooking and eating more. So in my early 20s, I used to, as I'm sure we all do, order a lot of takeaway, order a lot of things to go, and I started eating like I mean, I wasn't eating terribly, but I also wasn't eating great. Like sometimes I would just eat a lot of junk. I would eat a lot of stuff like as or like on the fly while I was out somewhere. And over the last few years, I've been cooking a lot more food. So making more food at home, cooking ingredients from scratch, and either I pack lunches when I go out, or I make sure that I like have leftovers for the day after. And that has drastically improved my well-being in terms of what I eat and how I feel after eating them. So my number two tip is cook more and eat at home more or pack your own lunches. I feel so much more awake. I feel so much more focused. I feel like I'm eating like things that really help. It's a great way to save some money, and overall it helps improve everything in your life. So definitely cook and eat more. So the number three thing I would say is apologizing for everything. I used to be one of those people who apologized all the time. I think this is definitely a woman thing, a younger woman thing, a woman of color thing. But the younger I was, in a lot of workplaces and in a lot of my personal interactions, I used to apologize to people all the time. I used to say I was sorry for not understanding things. I used to apologize if I didn't get things perfect the first time. And I would generally like just start a lot of conversations, even like sending emails to people being like, sorry, I need to do this. And once I caught myself doing it, I realized that actually all it was doing was actually creating this odd dynamic where the other person feels like they have to reassure me, but also me feeling more unsure about myself. And so I stopped saying sorry. I just tried to catch myself every time I said sorry and just instead like shift it and say it in a slightly different way without using an apology. Sometimes I would say thank you to people, say, thanks for being patient with me on this. And just changing the language around how I said it has helped me immensely. I feel like I go into a lot more interactions, a lot more confident, a lot more sure of myself, and a lot more happy about kind of the outcome of things. So if you're doing it, it's okay. We all do it. But my and we all tend to do it. So if you are saying sorry, stopping myself saying sorry has helped so much, and I think that was something that's really made my life a lot better. Okay, okay. So the fourth thing that I would say is journaling my feelings. Now, this one is a bit out there, and I know that it's not for everybody, but over there's a couple of books that I read, which I will link to in the description below. One was The Bullet Journal Method by Ryder Carroll, and one was The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And both of these books kind of are big proponents of the idea of journaling. So you journal in the morning and you journal in the evenings, but you write down pages of stuff that help you untangle your feelings. And initially, this was a really difficult thing for me to get used to because I was always like, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't know that I can be bothered to do it. But the more I started like writing down my feelings, the easier it became for me to articulate what I was feeling to myself. And that was really, really helpful. The more I started like using a pen and paper to say, this really annoyed me, this upset me, this was something I felt great about, the easier it became for me to then separate those feelings out in my head. And then when I was having conversations with people, I felt like I could be more helpful and more succinct in the way that I said it to them because I had already processed those feelings. So it was a very tiny hack. And you know, there are lots of different ways to do it. There are lots of books about journaling. But for me, just having the simple act of using a pen and paper and writing stuff down has dramatically improved my life. And it was such a simple hack. So I hope that's helpful. And the other thing was trying new things. Now, I know that I said it's like that saying no to things was very helpful, and it was. But saying yes to the right kinds of new experiences broadened my horizons and helped me grow so much. So I learned to do things that I wouldn't normally do, like go to different kinds of events, meet different types of people. I would often go into rooms of people where I didn't know anyone. I would sometimes go to events by myself in London. I started saying yes to like visiting people, even if they lived quite far away from me, to check out a new neighborhood. I would often, like on my way back home from different events or whatever, on my way back home, I would often take a different route. I would duck into different shops. And I think actually learning to cultivate a sense of curiosity in the world and the world around us can help you learn and grow so much. And that doesn't have to be like always big things. It can be reading a book, it can be having a conversation with somebody you wouldn't normally talk to. And it can also mean just like asking the right questions and trying to learn more about stuff. The more you do, the more things open up. And I think that has been something that has really drastically improved my life. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful. I hope to do more of these videos. So if there's something you'd like me to cover, then please drop it in the comments below and I'll do what I can. But thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, have a good rest of your week. Bye.